Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna make a video on how I saved $28,000 by the end of, say, roughly 21 months. Um, and this is gonna explain how I started. This is just saving, working. So let's just jump into it. Right here, I drew a little timeline. So, when did I start saving? So, I graduated in 2016, January 2016, and I worked really low paying jobs. I didn't apply for any jobs within my major. I know you may be wondering, well, that's dumb. Why didn't you do that? Well, for me, personal preference, I wanted to try something besides my degree. I wanted to see how tough is it out there to get a job, um, and maybe make a living doing something different, something that involved being creative. Um, so I was just thinking, like, okay, let me try to make it without a degree. That's basically kind of like an experiment for myself. And basically, I want to be a teacher to begin with, but then teachers don't get paid much, so I'm like, let me see if I can find something that pays more than a teacher. I know you're wondering, why didn't I just do it because I like the teaching? Well, because I mean, in California it's expensive, so uh, for a teacher it sucks. So I mean, unless you're able to have your expenses down, then it's great. It's a very rewarding job, and maybe I'll do it in the future. But let me continue. So I worked weird jobs from January, I mean June 2016 all the way to November 2017. Um, so I was working like landscaping. I was doing uh, restaurants. I was doing Postmates, Uber Eats. So that only was paying me like less than $12 an hour, and I did part time. Less, no, I don't think I ever had a week where I did a full time, like working exactly 12 hours and stuff. I also did Amazon Flex as well. So I got lucky here at in November. I was doing Amazon Flex, and somebody came up to me and they're like, "Hey, why don't you do Amazon as a working for a company?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll apply." So I applied. They got me right away. And in case you're wondering, or if they're still hiring, they're hiring like crazy. And yeah, so I applied. Company called Green Messengers, and up from since 2017 all the way to now, August 2019. That's a total of 21 months. I did not work for 1 month of October 2007. I mean, to October 2018, and so I kind of counted that out. So I worked all that 21 months, and I did 6 days a week, sometimes seven, but I'm just gonna say six for every month of all those 21 months. So with all these 21 months, I was working 60 hours a week. That made me a gross of is calculates to 92,000 in 21 months. My first year, from November 2017 to 2018, the end of 2018, you know, my my taxes were like, I made like 44,000, something like that. And out of those 44,000, let me see if I could explain that even better by flipping this around. Um, I made 44,000, but then after expenses and all that stuff, let me also include that I had debt when I graduated. Had 15,000 in debt. And then I got into like a car accident in like August of 2018, a minor accident. I bought a computer. I borrowed some money, but at the same time, during this whole period, I was saving money. So as long as I was saving money, I was feeling good. So I saved, from here to here, from November 7th, 2017 to January 2019. I saved about $30,000 in cash, but I still had $22,000 in total debt outstanding. So, and also I bought a car, a $1,000 car off my brother, so that subtracted some of the money I can see here. So I paid all my debt all at once, so got rid of it, and I was left with $8,000. And again, I bought the car, left with $7,000 on January 2019. Why did I have debt and cash at the same time? Well, I was trying to build a trading account, a stock trading account, and I would, see if I could learn how to invest in the stock market. And it was slow. It was taking time to learn. So instead of trying to risk my money, I'm like, you know what? Let me not risk $30,000. Instead, let me just pay off my debt, because the last thing I want is to risk $30,000 and then have that get wiped out, and still have the remaining $22,000 in debt. So let me just wipe out the debt, got rid of the debt, and started again with $7,000 left. And I worked, again tirelessly from January again to January 2019 until now. And every of those months, I was trying to do Postmates and my regular job at the same time. My regular job, Amazon, here, I was working 60 plus hours a week. The pay rate was about $16 an hour. That's right here, and that helped a lot. Working 60 hours versus working 40 hours. So in those 21 months, working 61, um, working 60 hours a week, in 21 months, generated this. If I had worked 40 hours a week for those 24 months, this what I would have. I would have this instead, which is a lot less. It's actually $29,000 more to work 60 hours a week. So I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I was able to save this. But it's not all of this, because this is the gross amount, not the net amount. The net amount is probably like 20,000 after taxes. So those extra 20 hours a week help pull in an extra $20,000. And so now, um, I was doing Postmates and my regular Amazon job, and that till now I'm at 28.5 thousand and no debt. I have my brother's car, which was only $1,000. And what I'm going with this is that it helped me feel a lot more relaxed. Have a cushion, and now I can take trading a little bit more serious, but at the same time more careful, because it allows me to not feel like I want to make money immediately. Instead, I want to learn the skill, and by learning the skill, I will be able to generate money when I'm ready. And it's not going to be forced, it's not going to be something that I'm in a hurry in. I'm not in a hurry to make money off the stock market, not at all. I am just in the process of learning. Just that's all I'm trying to do. Learn and not try to rush anything, because when I rush things, which I have in the past, I have um, had some losses when I was a noob, a real big noob. In the beginning, I would lose a good amount of money. Like the biggest loss for me, I think, was like $700 in one trade. My first big loss was like $300 on Snapchat, when that IPO'd, um, and a few others. In total, I lost probably like $3,500. And now that I have time, now that I have the focus and the relaxed mindset, I'm able to take it easy, take it slow, and recover my account. On Robinhood, I'm doing okay. I haven't had horrible losses. Instead, this year I came out positive. I did. Right now it shows like $250 up, but it's it could change. So I gotta be careful. I gotta take it easy, and that's that. So that's what I wanted to share. That it's possible that if you do want to do this, it's hard. It takes a lot of willingness to want to work 60 hours a week and maybe do some overtime. And but at the end of at the end of the day, if you want to do it faster, you gotta cram it. You gotta do as many days as you can. Because if I had to do 40 hours a week still, if I did 40 hours a week to save the 92K gross amount, I would have to work probably an extra 6 months. I would have to wait 6 months before I reach the 28.5K that I have right now. I would have to still work up 2020 of, let's see, February of 2020. So yeah, I didn't want to wait that long, so I'm like, let me just compress because time is gonna pass either way, no matter what you do. So I might as well work, 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 and get it over with. But I mean, this is probably not the smart way to gain income. This is not in no way the best way, because there's better ways of making income. If you're a salesperson, you're bound to make lots of money if you put in the work. If you are uh, a very dedicated person when it comes to seeking jobs that pay a lot more money, then that's even better. A real estate agent is likely to make a lot of money if you dive yourself into it. Um, I was gonna go down that route. I got my license and I just couldn't pull the trigger and throw myself in there, and where it's uncertain. It's really uncertain because you don't know if you're gonna get a sale. And for me, it was just all about having security. And I, previous to getting into the real estate thing, I had already set my head. I need to save around $30,000 or at least $25,000, just because like I set that goal. Let me do it. Let me commit to it. And so I committed to it. By committing to it, it allowed me to feel like I was going towards something, and it let me stick to working the 60 hours a week. Otherwise, I would have been like giving up. I'm like, what am I aiming for? No, but I had a target. So if I do want to do real estate, it could be further into the future when I maybe save a little bit more. Maybe I feel more comfortable. And for me, it's like I want to make money in the stock market, and if I could do that and I could be profitable, I would definitely take some time off my normal job, do it a little bit more part time, both real estate and my regular job. I'll do it part time. So I'll be doing three things, like trade in the morning, um, then my regular job for like 3 or 4 days a week, and the other days I'll network and get people to know me as a real estate agent, and that way start building some momentum. Because diving right into it could be scary. Knowing that you don't have consistent income coming in is frightening. So I know I get frightened knowing that there's no money coming in, because there's I have to sustain myself. So if you're a badass person and you want to do it and just dive into something like that, like real estate, be a real estate person, then say, I mean, if you got nothing to lose, like you got expenses very low and stuff, I would highly think that's a smart thing to do, especially if you live with your parents. That's even smarter because they got your back, and you will learn and develop as a person much quicker when you throw yourself into that kind of industry. Even though it's tougher, it toughens you up in a good way. So that's it for today. I think I shared enough about how I saved, and um, if you have any questions about it, feel free to write down the comments. Please subscribe, like this video, share it if it could help somebody. Um, if you want me to cover some more stuff about this, because I don't. There's a lot of maybe a lot of things that I didn't cover on. Well, how do I save so much, or like did I have any expenses? I mean, I guess I could cover that right now. I was probably spending like between 1,100 and $800 a month in my expenses: rent, car, gasoline bills, insurance, cell phone bill, all that stuff. It was very cheap. My rent. I live in a walk-in closet. I only paid $350 a month, and that allowed me to save. I live with roommates. If you don't live with your parents. Find roommates. Get some people, some nice people to live with. Don't get some, some people that you can't live with. And if you live with your parents and your parents are able to pay for your living, that's even better. And respect them and be respectful to each other. That way, you all can like help each other. They help you by supporting you. You help them by eventually helping them down the line where you start making money as a agent, salesperson, or even a business. If you open up a business, you got all these people advertising on Instagram. Hey, I did a Shopify store. I don't know anything about that, so I'm not gonna touch any of that, any of those online business things. I'm not gonna touch any of that. And also stocks, like I'm not encouraging you to do stocks because it's a very risky place where you can lose a lot of money, and I am not promoting it in no way. You will see videos of me posting what I've done, what I do with stocks, but that's just for me to share ideas, and for you all, if you have any suggestions on how I can improve that, that's better. But I'm no way encouraging you guys like, hey, do stocks. No, that's something you have to search on your own. If somebody asks me, oh, teach me about stocks, I'm not gonna say. I'm probably gonna say like, first look it up because there all the information is on in the internet. Everything was on there for me. Didn't need to buy anything. Everything was flat out just laid out for me on YouTube, on Google sites. It was all there. So it's like me asking somebody who knows how to dance, hey, how do you dance? Like it's I'm not gonna ask them to teach me because there's lots of resources on YouTube on how to dance. Okay, so yeah, guys, girls, people, peace out.